In the criminal justice system, the people,
Pimps, addicts, thieves, bums, winos, girls who can't keep an address, and men who don't care.
are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
A cop, a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law. You're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
These are their stories.
You know, the porch piracy is a real problem. So now they have bait packages on certain porches.
Yeah.
And in Arcadia, Southern California, the bait package was grabbed by a porch pirate, tracked by the Arcadia cops, and then fate intervened.
Busted.
Well, the pirate was in a car crash with the bait package in the car. So officers are tracking this bait package, and all of a sudden they don't see it going anywhere, and they see it there, and they're responding to a huge car accident, and they see that it's the same location that the bait package is pinging, and indeed, the pirate was killed in the car accident involving another vehicle and this porch pirate. It was a bizarre twist to what had been a police operation. Incredible.
It's kind of, I mean, you hate to see someone die, but, I mean, could we say karma? I don't know. If he hadn't been doing that exact thing at that exact moment, he might still be alive.
Well,
I blame you.
Well, I think that's a little harsh, Kim. I don't mean to say, but I don't want to kill somebody just because they stole.
I don't want to kill somebody. I'm just saying the universe took
Kim,
care
how are
of
you?
it.
All right. Anyway, a dude who acted as a lookout during the armed robbery of an armored truck, sentenced just after we got off the air. So this is news as of late Friday. James Russell Davis, a member of a group law enforcement officials dubbed the Chesapeake Bandits. There he is on screen. This is from the actual heist. He pleaded guilty to a count of interference with commerce by robbery and a count of discharging a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. That means he shot that gun, you see. He was a co-conspirator, and there was a gun battle. They got away with $160,000 in cash, then captured by the FBI. He's been in federal custody since March of 2023, and soon after we got off the air on Friday, he was sentenced 14 years in prison.
Good day, sir.
Yeah. Not a good scene for him. Not a good plan to rip off the armored car. Meantime, the Coast Guard seizing $63 million worth of cocaine. And there was a deadly shootout on the high seas.
That's a lot of cocaine.
It is a tremendous amount of cocaine. Kim is correct.
What are they? What's a cool way to say that? That's a chunk of blow.
What?
4,800 pounds of cocaine, to your point. And this is at a Florida port where the cops busted it. It was a dramatic operation led by the U.S. Coast Guard. There you see the Coast Guard with the cocaine. Look how much cocaine is there.
They have to put it on pallets? That's a significant amount of cocaine. I mean, that's you know, that's a long time in prison, let me tell you.
There's never been anything like this.
Yeah, it's the crew opened fire on the suspected smugglers when the vehicle led by the Coast Guard abruptly changed course. The seizure is the result of a joint operation between two agencies, and they started this off the coast of Puerto Cabello, Venezuela. The team engaged a high-speed vessel in the Caribbean thought to be smuggling narcotics. The vessel refused orders to stop. Instead, it increased speed and changed direction. The Dutch and U.S. Coast Guard members opened fire on the boat. They say it was in self-defense. The vessel caught fire and sank. 3 suspected smugglers went overboard. Sadly, or perhaps some would say appropriately, Kim is pretty tough today, they did not and were unable to find the smugglers. They went overboard and they were not recovered.
Again, I would say the universe has a way of taking care of things.
Wow. Very, very tough, Kim. It's tough love, as you know, everybody. Yeah.
Sometimes.
A woman, 102 years old, marries her boyfriend. She went for
sweet.
some young hottie.
How old was he?
102. She's married her boyfriend. How old is he? How old is the boyfriend of the 102-year-old woman who is just married? I will leave it to the chat to take a look and to take a guess, and then I'll have Kim's guess, and then I will tell you. You want to put some of them up there, Tony, or I can share with the boys and girls other guests. Jason says 100, Calvin says 98, Tom says 100. The answer is 100. Wow, very nice.
Yeah, I accidentally put it on the screen. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations for cheating, everybody. There was I didn't know that. So you had the actual age up there the whole time?
A split second.
Oh, my God.
No,
Tony,
yeah.
God almighty.
Thanks, Tony.
Can't do anything around here without everything being destroyed.
Why are you yelling?
My own people are
way it
undermining me.
Why are you yelling?
God.
Hey, Mark. It's George Santos here.
All right. 102-year-old woman. Do you want to do the rest of the story too, Tony? Maybe you'd like to come in and tell everybody the rest of the story.
Thanks, Tony.
100-year-old boyfriend that she's been with in this retirement community, Marjorie
Sometimes
Fitterman.
That's where you find love. It's better than a grocery store. The old
Oh, my
folks' home.
God. I'm so about
Yeah.
this.
Look at them. How cute.
Yep. They put their wheelchairs together, and they met 9 years ago. They had their first date that very same day, 9 years ago, and look at them, happy. They have a combined age of 202.
Yeah.
They are the oldest living married couple in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Bernie's granddaughter, Sarah, said that despite being together for nearly a decade, the two only began discussing marriage after Marjorie fell and broke her leg, which shook the couple into action. They wanted to do something. There was a moment, she says, where, quote, I don't want to live without you.
Oh.
And so it was just a, why don't we get married sort of thing, says the granddaughter. It was kind of spurred the moment at first, the granddaughter says. We thought that it was a joke, but then they just continued to go through with it. And took all the necessary steps. Very sweet. So that is...
I'm surprised it took him a decade at that age. You really can't waste a day, you know?
That is
That's
true.
nice.
Yeah, it is true. You're suggesting they may not have that long?
Yeah, well, I think...
Kim
again,
was the one who...
the universe has a way.
I'll remind you last week when we reported on Rupert Murdoch and his fifth wife at age 93, she said he better hurry up because he doesn't have that long.
It's the truth. I'm sorry if you
But
don't
I
want it
thought writing
verbalized,
that on the
but-
card was a little bit...
What?
Alex Jones agrees to liquidate his assets to pay Sandy Hook families. This would end his ownership of InfoWars, which is the conspiracy theory-driven platform that he runs, InfoWars. He will liquidate his personal assets, agreeing to demands from the families of Sandy Hook victims, whom he owes more than $1.5 billion in damages to, over his lies about the 2012 school massacre.
Is anyone sad to see his riches go? His ill-gotten riches?
He is a disgusting guy
Yeah.
whose lies about, I mean, I can't imagine more painful and more psychologically corrosive news than the sort of news that was devastatingly given to these Sandy Hook families. And out of this massacre, you create a BS story about how it was all faked. It's despicable. It's disgusting. It's grotesque. There is no punishment harsh enough for this man. And the fact that he was able to turn that into a money-making enterprise, plus he was able to convince people that these ridiculous positions, which he must have known were ridiculous, were legitimate, that makes it even more grotesque.
Is he crying over the loss of his money?
He's fake crying over, over the loss of InfoWars.
Yeah.
He had resisted converting his personal bankruptcy into a Chapter 7 liquidation prior to last week. But facing mounting legal pressure, he reversed course and caved because the Sandy Hook families, who haven't seen a penny from Jones since the juries in Connecticut and Texas both found him liable in 2022 for defamation and emotional distress, they kept the pressure on. The legal maneuver ultimately means that Jones's ownership in free speech systems is going to get sold. Converting the case to Chapter 7 will hasten the end of these bankruptcies and facilitate the liquidation of Jones's assets. And hopefully these families will get something. And when I say that, I understand that that's not going to in any way ease their pain. In any way, not even 1%. But closing this guy down, that is something that I think they want to both see, and it sends a message. A key prosecution witness says that he bribed New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez. Jose Uribe. San Francisco Giants baseball fans will remember Jose Uribe as the shortstop for the team in the 80s.
Is this the same? This isn't the same one, though, is it?
No.
No.
I think there are many Jose Uribes. I think it's kind of like Joe Smith as a name in the Latino community. He bribed Senator Bob Menendez as part of a scheme to derail the prosecution of an associate and shield Uribe and his close friends and family from being dragged into a related investigation. You see Uribe there. Mm-hmm. We're 4 weeks into the New Jersey Democrats' corruption trial. Prosecutors are attempting to piece together through Uribe what they have described as a sprawling scheme to trade Menendez's influence for cash, gold bars, and luxury gifts. This is going on in a Manhattan courtroom. This is in the Justice Department that the GOP says is rigged and the Democrats have it rigged. Well, they're prosecuting a Democrat in a Manhattan courtroom, and they will likely bring him down. Menendez turned in his seat in the courtroom to see Uribe enter the courtroom. Then he watched attentively as this businessman, Uribe, who is testifying under a cooperation agreement with the government after pleading guilty in March, told the court that he had committed federal crimes, including bribery of a public official. Again, it was Uribe who was bribing Senator Bob Menendez. Uribe named and identified Menendez as the person he bribed before describing in broad terms the template of his deal with the senator that allegedly involved giving Menendez's wife, Nadine, a Mercedes-Benz C300 convertible.
That's the one you want. You know, if you're going to take bribes for it, you want the convertible.
Yeah.
Not that specific Mercedes. Yeah.
Quote, I agreed with Nadine Menendez and other people to provide a car for Nadine in order to get the power and influence of Mr. Menendez. This is from Uribe's testimony. That was in order to help me get a better resolution for one of my associates who is being charged in a criminal matter and to stop and kill investigations that could lead to my daughter and family members. Wow, that is a nice car. Mm-hmm. The Menendezes, along with New Jersey businessman Wael Hanna and Fred Davies, are accused of engaging in bribery schemes and acting as foreign agent for the Egyptian government and assisting the government of Qatar. All four have pleaded not guilty. Nadine Menendez is going to be tried separately this summer. It's going to be a great courtroom summer, everybody, for all of us following the Menendez couple. Yeah. So he went into some detail on testimony and the exchange.
I mean, there's no Nissan Leaf in that driveway.
No, they're playing it heavy. We have the Nissan Leaf, but we don't have any. We're not influence peddling at all. That's where the real money is.
That's your first mistake. I mean,
you've got to get the influence peddling going.
You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
A man is finally arrested in the big Lego heist. Actually, they think it might have been two guys who were involved in this. 3,000 boxes of stolen Lego.
Those Legos are worth a lot resold, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They find all of this Lego at the guy's house. More than 2,800 boxes of stolen Lego sets. And the guy who stole them is 71 years old.
What are you doing?
Exactly. Thank you. I was expecting is 25 or 28 or...
This was the retirement plan that you came up with? Wow.
Officers arrested 71-year-old Richard Siegel and his alleged accomplice, 39-year-old Blanca Gudino. They raid the elderly man's Long Beach home in Southern California. The LAPD moved in. It was their special Lego division.
What?
The individual boxes have a retail value ranging from $20 to well over $1,000. I don't know if you're aware of this, Kim, but you have these Star Wars Legos. They have a huge Lego setup for, you can build like a huge replica of the Titanic, replicas of any number of things, of the White House, of any, so Lego has come a long way, and so some of these Lego sets are really expensive.
Yeah.
So they started investigating the case after this retailer said that this guy robbed them several times, and all this stuff starts walking out the door. Apparently, detectives are saying that these two would sell the stolen goods online, and several buyers would actually go to the dude's house, and that's where they would make the exchange. They booked these two for organized retail theft and grand theft. Again, it was almost 3,000 boxes of stolen Lego. And lastly, in Law and Disorder, say it ain't so. The World Series of Poker has confirmed that it has opened an investigation into marked cards.
What?
No. Cheating.
Yes.
There's cheating?
Cheating in cards? Oh, no. I mean, this is
the
Oh, my God.
I know.
This is like a big deal, though. This is supposed to be the professional circuit, right?
Exactly right, Kim. This is supposed to be the professionals.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Don't even play.
Play.
They have confirmed that they've opened an investigation into marked cards in event number 15 of the 2024 WSOP, or World Series of Poker. It's the $1,500 pot limit Omaha high, low, 8 or better. It's 8-handed. It's a tournament. I'll remind everybody and I'll also tell everybody who may not know, I don't know why there would be any reason you would know, but the World Series of Poker is just that. It's a series of different tournaments. We are kind of used to seeing the main event. That's where everybody pays $10,000. It's no limit hold'em, but it's actually made up of many different events. And so this World Series of Poker is rocked by the accusation of marked cards. Complaints were made by players on X, formerly Twitter. And one of those who complained is the current reigning WSOP Online Player of the Year, a guy by the name of Mike Holtz. This is really a huge problem, potentially. It also affects the image, the pristine image of poker. My God. I mean, this is really it's a troubling development. It's unacceptable, says Mike Holtz. On day 9 of the 2024 WSOP, a woman in the 9 seat, which is just the seat right next to the dealer, at Mike Holtz's table, noticed something strange about the way the cards were laid out. Both of those aces are marked, she told the table. The cards laid out were ace, ace, 7, and the game was pot limit Omaha high-low, where a player gets 4 cards, and the pot is split between the high hand and the low hand. Thank you, Tony, for posting the original post from Mike Holtz. Very impressive work, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
She took out both decks. She waited for the hand to finish, and then, according to Holtz, the woman went on to prove her point. She took out both decks, he says, and without looking at them, pulled out every ace, deuce, 3, and 4 with 100% accuracy.
Oh, no.
Holtz described the cards as slightly bent in the middle. And the only cards affected were the critical low cards, because you're splitting the pot high and low. So if you know what the low cards are, that's a way to game the system.
But
and only the low cards were bent.
But they don't know if this is done in every game, or if someone just in that particular game was cheating, or if this is like a widespread deal.
So far, the allegations are limited to this game.
Wow.
Yeah. Another player said something similar had happened to him in that same event. So this is a smear on poker. It's not the way poker really should be played, or usually is played. Usually monitored pretty closely, but this is pretty big news. And this is a developing story in Law and Disorder. And that is Law and Disorder for today.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.